Welcome to another great edition of Beacons of Light. Today I'm joined with a gentleman that gives of his time and his talent, Mr. Al, a pharmacist at the St. Vincent de Paul Community Pharmacy, volunteering his time, his talent, and his treasure. And I know, Al, for you, giving of your time and talent is about living your faith actively.
Yes, it is. Michael, thanks for inviting me today. I just feel like that I needed to be a better person, and as you're approaching my age and everything, you really start thinking about those things, I'm just feel like I need to give back. I've been so blessed with the family and friends and all of the things around me, and I just feel like that that I need to share and give back to the community. So that's why I'm here.
Well, tell us about, how all that got started. Obviously, you have a strong foundation to your faith. So how did that in your own personal life start?
Well, I was back in Ponchatoula, which is my hometown. I was an altar boy, and I served the Dominican fathers there at St. Joseph's Church for a number of years. Later, the Jesuits bought a home nearby in Ponchatoula, so I served for those guys too. And I just really enjoyed it, felt so close to God and so forth. And of course, as you go through life, and I did, became a pharmacist, had the good fortune to own a drugstore early on and so forth. And I began to focus on worldly things. And I was consumed with that. Now, I went to church on Sundays and things like that, but I wasn't immersed in my faith as I should have been. And so for many years, I enjoyed success with that, but I just felt the need to be a better person, more close to God, and and to share those things with people who are less fortunate. So that's my answer.
Well, that's a good answer. And I know that, any of us who have been blessed with a Catholic education, it was a sacrifice from our parents. Mm-hmm. And I know that your parents made that sacrifice so you could go to St. Joseph and right. The Catholic school there. And it really impacted your life and strengthened your faith.
It did. And I often remember that, those are fond memories. And then from that, my parents were both Catholic. My mother was Protestant. She became Catholic in order to marry my dad, and she raised us. We were raised in a Catholic family and enjoyed all of those things. And you fall back on that at certain times in your life where things get rough for you, and you have that foundation. So anyway, that's been a real good thing.
Well, and as you so eloquently described your faith journey, we're all, at some point we're sitting in the church and we're living our faith, but it's no matter where you're at in your faith life, you have an opportunity to grow, don't you, Al?
You sure do. Being a little pharmacy owner in the community of Lockport and later in Raceland, afforded me the opportunity to meet a good number of people and to immerse myself in the community and to get to know, Cajun people are wonderful. They want to know who's your mama, who's your dad, that kind of thing. And it afforded me the opportunity to get to know them. As you get to know people, you realize that a great many of them are needy, mm-hmm. in material things or spiritual things, and and you have an opportunity to get to know them and to hopefully help them both spiritually and physically.
Yes.
And so that is made me aware of the fact that there's a great deal of need in our communities. And I've always attempted to try to help when I could.
And that's wonderful. I mean, and as a business owner, you had that opportunity to assist when you saw that the need was there.
Yeah.
And one of the things you're talking about are rural communities where people, everybody knows everybody.
Right.
And that makes for a wonderful, almost ecumenical, because you have Catholics, you have Protestants, people get along and they live their Christian faith in a powerful way, don't they?
That they do. They really do. Our family lived down there during a number of hurricanes, and you would see, things happen that just touch your heart, but people are strong. People are strong. And to me, it was a real growth experience to see how God can intervene in those kind of tragedies. Back in Hurricane Juan, which is the one I remember mostly, about a third of the town of Lockport flooded. Wow. So you had 3-4 feet of water in those homes. People were paddling out to their homes and getting their belongings and things like that. And it was a gut-wrenching experience. It really was. It also afforded the opportunity to try to help. And that's it.
That's what our call is from our faith life, to help and to see how we can be a part of, one, to get through the hurricane, and two, once we survive, how can we respond to the needs of others? Right. And my guess is, you own pharmacies for many, many years. You probably went through that a number of times.
I did. There was a point in 1983 to 85, 86, to where I didn't know if I was going to make it or not financially. I had invested a lot in a second pharmacy, and it was a big thing. And then the storm hit, and then the OPEC people limited the gas and oil reserves. You had about 20% unemployment down in the area. So
that's right.
You could have played the fiddle on Highway 1 and probably couldn't have drawn a crowd back then.
I understand.
And when people can't afford to pay you, they can't afford to pay you. So it was a tough time, but we made it. Everybody pulled together as a community, and we got through it. There was another time in the early 2000s, where Medicare Part D, which is the drug part of Medicare,
that's correct,
was enacted. And I didn't know how that was going to affect me, really. It was a big third-party thing and so forth. So I decided that I would partner with the Lafourche RC, which is the Council on Aging there, and try to help people understand this thing. So I did that. I ate a lot of gumbo and a lot of cakes. People wanted they wanted to pay you. They were grateful. And to me, the very fact that I was able to help them was reward enough. I got more out of it than they did.
Yes, indeed.
So, anyway.
That's a great story. And when we come back, we'll share a little bit more with Al about all the opportunities we have to live our faith. For over 20 years, the St. Vincent de Paul Community Pharmacy has served our area. We provide prescription medicines for those who have nowhere to turn for this most basic healthcare need. Please, if you need your medicine or you know a family member that needs their medicine, contact us. Kay, how can they get in touch?
383-7450.
Give us a call today and spread the word so that we can ensure no one goes without their prescription medication. It's great being with you on this issue of Beacons of Light because we get to share the stories of what happens in the Diocese of Baton Rouge. South Louisiana is a great place to live, and it's because of people like Mr. Al that we're able to do so much for so many at St. Vincent de Paul. But, you know, we talked about your foundations of your faith, but that's every day, whether you were younger or now you're a member of St. John the Evangelist Parish. Tell us a little bit about your faith life there.
Okay, well, you know, coming from the Lockport, Raceland area, a very small parish down there, I had an opportunity to be involved in various things. When moving to Prairieville in 2011, you know, it's a monstrous parish. It's huge.
Yes, I see it, yes.
And I was taken back by, you know, just where do I need to start? Where do I get involved? And so for a couple of years, I, you know, went to Mass there often, but didn't really immerse ourselves in the Christian community. And of course, at our ages, we didn't have kids in school and common denominators that you know went to allow us to meet people. So anyway, so I joined the choir and sang there for 2 or 3 years, and then later on it was Acts. Acts the program became available to us, and that was a wonderful opportunity to meet a number of people. And then after that, my wife and I were on the Respect Life committees. There are a number of committees at St. John's that are very active. Father Jerry Martin, you know, has been tremendous for that parish, and we're gonna miss him. But we have another good one, Father Andrew Merrick, and he and his associate pastor, Father Blunt, are awesome. We're beginning to meet them and so forth. So in Respect Life Committee, we of course upped our ears in the abortion issues and the LGBT type of issues that we had. So I began fundraising for Right to Life, okay, and then through that became aware of some of the legislation and so forth. So it was Father Jerry's idea to have a baby shower, okay, for the expectant moms that were in need, because we just didn't want to, you know, be against the abortion issue with no aid to the mom that decided to keep the child and to raise the child. So we wanted to be of assistance there. So Father Jerry, who knew the community a whole lot better than we did, said, man, this is going to be great. This is what we need to do. Long story made short, we raised $10,000. Okay, and so we were able to supply pack and plays, car seats, diapers, and all the things that expectant moms need. Okay, and we're still doing that. We're providing that to the crisis centers in the Baton Rouge area, and so it's been a good experience. Joined the KCs or rejoined the KCs about a year ago. I was fundraising for the Right to Life thing, and got a chance to meet a bunch of the guys. Well, I had been a KC member back in my 20s, and at some point took a leave of absence because I was so immersed in this business thing, okay? And so they talked me into joining again. So they found me on the registry, rejoined the KCs, and have been really active in that, enjoying that. It's a big group, and with something like probably a good 40 plus members at a typical meeting. So it's a big outfit, and they do lots of good things, from building ramps to donating to all sorts of charitable causes. So, and they cook a mean pork spaghetti and jambalaya, stuff like that. But
I bet you Father Martin, when he got assigned out to Holy in Port Allen, that parish, he's going to miss you, but I know they've got a great KC group out there as well. But Father Andrew Merrick, another, we're blessed with so many amazing priests in this diocese.
Great
don't we,
guys.
Al? I mean, it is just amazing to see our priests and how they're so supportive. And as you know, and we'll talk about that in the next segment, but you know, when somebody comes to St. Vincent de Paul, we see a child of God. And that's why life is so important to us. We want to treat everybody and provide that God's love. Like, you know, often, Al, you may not know this, and the audience may know this. If somebody calls the St. Vincent de Paul store and says, I've got a donation, then we ask what it is. If they say it's a baby bed or a car seat, we can't take those. And the reason why is because a lot of times it's an older baby bed, and there could be safety recalls, and so, you know, giving that to a mother without knowing, or a car seat that might have been involved in an accident, we can't risk all that. So the things that y'all are doing in St. John the Evangelist Parish is so powerful, because the car seats are needed. The baby beds are needed. All of those supplies are just so critical when you're trying to respond to a mother in need.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's just gratifying to see these women, how courageous they are in choosing life and dealing with whatever obstacles they face along the way, and our being able to help them like that is a great thing.
It is. It's a gift of God, and you're right. It's all built on your faith life, because life is so precious.
Yeah, and I think that in this relates to the St. Vincent de Paul pharmacy and everything else. Is the first step is not really to judge.
Right.
Just to
help.
Give.
Yeah. To respond, evaluate how you can live your faith life in a powerful way.
That's right.
And when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about how we're all called to evaluate how we can better live our faith lives, and how we can take on God's challenge of sharing God's love with all those in need, because Christ calls each of us to do that very thing, live our faith and bring God's love to the most vulnerable in our area. The Society of St. Vincent de Paul's first cookbook, Taste and See, is the gift which helps share the goodness of the Lord with those most in need. Featuring recipes from Chef John Foles, each chapter begins with a short story about one of our special work programs. To order your copy of Taste and See, please call the Society or visit our website. Help multiply blessings for the neediest in our community. We're all called to evaluate how we can live our faith. You know, often people show up at our door at St. Vincent de Paul and they're seeking assistance. It could be with rent, utilities, it could be for shelter or food, but a lot of times it's for prescription medicine. And so when we see someone with those needs, they're also looking for hope as well. So I'm here with Mr. Al, who not only fills prescriptions, but provides hope. And you see people from all different walks of life come into the pharmacy, and it's serious medicine. It's not like ibuprofen they're asking for.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a very big need. Some of the medications today, particularly the insulin-like injectables and things like that, are very, very expensive. And we're very fortunate when we can get a donation of those kind of things, but oftentimes we can't. Mm-hmm. And so, we rely on financial donations and things like that to help us through. The people that come in here are so grateful. Mm-hmm. I was telling someone just recently that the two things that I enjoy most about mm-hmm. My experience is that there's no insurance mm-mm. aspect to it, okay, and I'm not fooling with narcotics and things like that. Yeah. So it allows me time to really focus on what I'm doing and the person and mm-hmm. making sure that they understand the complexities of what they're taking as far as medications are concerned. There's a great staff. I do very little in my estimation as far as working on Mondays with those guys. It's a great crew. They've been together for years. Kelly is awesome. Dr. Schwarzenberg, Fred, Kathy, the whole bunch, and they make the work really fun.
Yes.
And it's rewarding because people are so grateful.
Yes.
And as was said before, we don't judge. We just serve.
That's exactly right. And part of the thing that I've witnessed there, I think people are grateful because they didn't know how they were going, and they know they don't get that insulin medicine or that medicine for their heart or high blood pressure. They're not going to survive.
That's right. That's true. And there's so many other things that besides prescription medications that are furnished. We have people coming in that need an item of durable medical equipment, such as a wheelchair or that sort of thing. And we have a floor full of those things that are donated by people. Now we have certain criteria, and you have to be careful about how you take these things. Prescription medications have to be sealed.
Right.
There are certain things that we can't take controlled drugs at all.
Right.
But by and large, we're able to accept a great many donations, and it's very, very helpful. And I encourage anybody that is out there in a situation where you have medication or you have medical equipment that you would like to donate, to give us a call. I mean, we'd gladly accept it if we can, for sure.
Yeah, 225-383-7450 if you'd like to call us and see if we're able to accept that. And as Mr. Al tell you, we follow all the Board of Pharmacy regulations and those good things. We do it the right way. And you've owned 5 pharmacies, so you know it's
5 pharmacies and 51 years of doing this.
Yeah, we do it the right way. And But it's amazing to me seeing you and all the people that you mentioned, and the young Kelly Ellisar, our doctor of pharmacy there. She's just super terrific.
She's awesome.
Yeah, she gets the mission, and everybody in there shares that mission, and then it's providing hope to people who come to us. A lot of times, like I said, they kind of lost hope, and whether, like you share with us, Louisiana, we live with hurricane devastation. We live with so many things. but the people here, whether they're in Lockport, Raceland, Baton Rouge, or wherever in Louisiana that they're great people.
They are. They are definitely great people. And getting a chance to get involved, and I encourage you to do that if you feel like that you have a need to volunteer and that you want to do that, man, give us a call.
Oh, no doubt. Yes.
But the people that come here are just, are just really good people.
Yeah.
For the grace of God, that could be us. We're so very blessed to be able to be in a position where we can actually help.
Yeah. And what you described in your faith life, I feel it. I think most people feel this, is God continuing to call us and communicate to us. And as you were successful in your business career, He kept talking to you, strengthening your faith to get you to the point you are now. And I think you would agree, without a doubt, that as you grow spiritually, as you grow in your faith, you realize, golly, I got a lot longer to go. I got a lot more to learn, more to give, more to understand. And forgive me, God, for all the sins of my life, because I need to grow closer to you, right?
You hit it on the head right there. I sold my last pharmacy in 2010, okay? And I did so because I really wanted to spend more time getting to be a better person, getting to know God more deeply. And, that's serious. And when you get to be my age, you're blessed for all the years you had, but you just don't know how many you got left. And the ultimate goal is to be there.
That's right.
With Him.
And I think you leave us with a great ending point, Mr. Al, in that we are all called to grow in our faith, and we're growing one direction or another. We're either growing closer to God. Sometimes we take a step back. Sometimes we take 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, another step. And it's with His great patience and love that we're able to see His plan for us.
That's absolutely true. You've said it all.
That's it, and a great way to end our show. Mr. Al, first, thanks for all you do for St. John the Evangelist Parish. Thank you for everything you do at the St. Vincent de Paul Community Pharmacy. If you'd like to get involved with us at St. Vincent de Paul, we encourage you to follow Mr. Al and do all the great work at St. Vincent. You can visit us at svdpvr.org to see how you can get involved in our ministry. We'll see you again next week on Beacons of Light.